So today's BESA's Curriculum Conference, it's our annual conference and one of the most popular events of the year. This year's theme, we've had the initial curriculum and assessment review recommendations. So we're unpacking those today with practitioners and our members.
Wherever I travel, I ask children and young people of whatever age why they go to school. The potential of the new national curriculum is to improve the answer because I have to. There seems to be levels of disengagement from young people with the reason why they go to school. We have an opportunity to take a different approach to learning and teaching because purpose brings with it passion. That question, why do you go to school? If we can reduce the number of youngsters significantly who would say because I have to, then that's a purpose element.
Today I want to talk about the growing importance of cognitive science and scientific evidence in education. So I try and talk about how children learn and the importance of long-term memory. And that if you want those skills in critical thinking, on problem solving and creativity, how do you get children to have those skills? And the way to get them is to make sure they have a lot of knowledge of math, a lot of knowledge of history, geography, science. And from that knowledge will come those skills. And the other thing I will talk about is the teaching profession and how they have taken back control of their profession, the intellectual side of teaching. And there are about 1,200 teacher-led blogs. There are scores of podcasts presented by teachers. And people say that what's happening in England is really quite remarkable.
We can never predict what tools and skills children are going to need in the future, so what tech is going to exist in 10 years from now, but we do need to be constantly evolving in the classroom. So in the case for change, we're talking about the changes that are upcoming in the curriculum with digital literacy and relevant skills and knowledge so that children can apply that to a future job. If we don't know what those jobs are going to be, we can prepare them with critical thinking skills, for example, so that they can enter the workforce of the future and plug that skills gap.
I thought it was time for an overhaul of the national curriculum because the world has changed around us, particularly digitally, and we need to make sure we're preparing young people for the world as it is now, not the world as it was then. So in our panel discussion today, we're essentially taking stock of a new curriculum which got a big emphasis on special education needs, moving some of those young people more into the mainstream. I really welcome the fact there's a new emphasis on the arts. We want drama and music and all of those things to be part of every child's experience. And I welcome the fact that oracy, the way we speak, the way we listen, is given more emphasis because that's a particularly important skill for young people in the age of the robots.
The case for change is that there should always be change, but gradually, for the next change, we must embrace it as we go along. This needs to be an evolution rather than a revolution, and we need to greet it with optimism and positivity.
What I hope the new curriculum would do is to say to teachers, you're the experts here, so we're laying out what we think you should teach, but you now decide how you're going to approach that. So I hope what this does is to empower teachers with some interesting content so that they actually remind themselves of the great art of being a great teacher.
What I'm really hoping to see is, and I think we are seeing it, is the collaboration between government, practitioners and industry, because no one group can do it alone. It's about working together to make sure the young people in our schools have the very best resources, the very best teaching and the very best chances to make a success of their lives.